economic forecast. As we feared, both the national and state economic outlook have dimmed somewhat over the last month. But they have been profitable in the first 2 months of the year.
We've been expecting that. In fact, I've been predicting 9 billion, although it is almost there. And although these are discouraging numbers, they don't come as a surprise. But what is going to come as a surprise to people is the depth of the cuts that we're going to be having to make. And I think folks have not really wanted to face up to that. And I don't blame them. It's very difficult to look at because the kinds of cuts we're going to have to make in just about every program that we care about. There will be cuts to education. We have to take a look at what we're going to do with basic health care. We're going to have to look at higher ed. There's some certainties we cannot cut. For example, corrections, Department of Corrections and prisons. There are just some things that are a given that we have to do. However, where we have some choices are not going to be very easy ones for us to make. We have our meeting together with the House. We've been talking in terms of what it is we need to do. One of the cuts that the governor proposed that everyone is rebelling at, and yet I don't see a way out of it, is who we term GAU. It's General Assistance Unemployable. And often these are people with serious conditions where they really cannot work. If we were to take their health care from them, we may as well just give up, because that isn't even basic care. They get a small grant. If we try and tamper with that, that's going to mean that they can't even live. They're next to homeless. We were trying to look at where we would send them, looking at perhaps community health clinics. I don't know if there are enough around to be able to serve them. I don't know if there are enough food banks, or if we can have enough food stamps, or those clinics available where we need them. So it's going to be, we're going to have some very, very difficult choices. We're going to make it through this. I'd like to be more upbeat. We've survived tough times before, but this is going to be a very difficult period of time. And the forecast, I've said, is not a surprise, but it's certainly discouraging. Trouble is, we don't know when it's going to end. I did hear Mr. Bernanke predict that by the end of this year, perhaps there'd be an uptick. That's the most encouraging I've heard anybody be, but I would certainly hope so. Which means then, in the next year, things are not going to loosen up either. And so we're going to have to look at a situation I did never dream that I'd be seeing.